Let me show you several different things that you can do if your Joy-Cons are actually not connecting to your Nintendo Switch 2 over here. So if you have some problems, there are some things we can do. First, obviously, to connect the Joy-Con to your console, really, all it takes is simply, basically popping it on and it should automatically connect. So again, if you have some problems, we can explore further, basically. So on your controllers over here, see, you actually have this like pairing button over here, and what we can do, we can simply go in the settings over here, in the controllers settings, and okay, so click this, change grip order over here, and then we can basically click this button over here, and we can essentially like force like try to pair with it essentially. So as you see, so let me press this in, you'll see basically it starts to show up like this, so it like blinks rapidly. Basically, as you see, it actually was able to connect over here. And also again, we can do the same thing with the other one. Also, obviously, since these controllers have also a battery inside as well, then obviously maybe they have been like discharged. Again, simply if you simply connect them at the first time, they might simply be out of juice. So again, if you have been using them outside of your console for a very long time, so that's expected really. So again, we are simply going to connect our console and simply leave them on the console maybe for like 10 or 20 minutes essentially, so to give some juice essentially. So again, if they have been completely depleted, it obviously will take a bit of time basically to get some juice in them before they will also start to work. So again, something to consider. Then also, if still basically there is nothing, you can also inspect basically the physical contacts inside these Joy-Cons. As you see, basically you have tiny pins. Also, maybe observe, maybe there's something stuck inside. So essentially, when you actually like connect it, basically it simply doesn't make contact and it can't understand it's actually being connected. So again, simply maybe take a flashlight and let's see maybe if something has fallen inside in this hole. So yeah, basically, and then you can simply like take a toothbrush and essentially clean it out. So that also might help. And then also what you can try, so on these controllers, as you see, you also have this LED, which basically converts these controllers in a mouse mode. So you can literally flip over your controller, maybe attach that like attachments that you have inside the box that converts it to the mouse mode, and essentially see if it actually revives it. Because again, during this process, basically they kind of switch over to a slightly different mode, and that also might help basically reconnect them to the controller, the console. And then finally, I guess what we can do is we can also do a force restart on this console. So essentially, basically once you do it, it kind of will try to heal itself, so and see basically what's wrong with it, and yeah, basically do like cleaning stuff like that. So that also might revive these. The way we do it, we simply literally hold this power button for I think maybe like 7 or 8 seconds. So let's see how long it takes. So literally simply hold your power button over here. So ignore whatever it says. So again, we have to force start it, and then okay, release it, and then maybe wait a few seconds essentially, and you can turn it back on. So simply press a bit, and yep. And I guess also before it boots up, also maybe try to attach your controllers and see basically the next time it actually boots up, see if that also helps. And finally, obviously, if everything else fails, you can also maybe try to like reset the console itself. So we can go in the settings over here. So system settings over here, data clear options over here. See, you can, for example, maybe try to clear the cache. I'm not sure if that would help, but again, basically on the bottom, you have your restore factory settings. Essentially, it will pretty much wipe everything from the console and return to the factory state. So you'll need to set it up again from fresh, but again, that also might revive. So if there is some bugs basically in the system or stuff like that. So yeah, I hope this helps. Anyway, good luck.